Spotlight over the city.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T-Bomb from Spotlight Over the City, and I am super excited about this guest coming up. I have been trying for several months to catch up with this young lady because she's got some hotness out in the film industry right now, and if you don't know about it, you're going to find out about it today. Super talented. I'm sure she will give us all the 411 on her amazing journey in the filmmaking industry. I will let her tell all of that. I just wanted you all to know I'm super excited to welcome to our Spotlight family, Miasha Coleman.
Thank you so much for that.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Well, you look amazing, and I'm so glad to hear that you're doing great. Thank you so much for being a part of Spotlight Over the City. We are super excited to have you, and we consider you as part of our Spotlight family. Whenever we have guests join us on the show, we say you are stuck with us. You are part of our Spotlight family. So welcome to the family.
Well, I appreciate that. Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome to the family. Listen, so as you know, we are based out of the DMV, but we know about all the hot things all over the place. And here lately, you have been one of the hot topics. You've got some amazing product out there. And we're going to get to that. But first, for those of you who do not know Miasha, I want you to take an opportunity to catch everyone up to date with who you are and how you got started on this amazing journey in the film industry.
Definitely. I've always been a writer since I was a kid. I used to write poems and short stories. And my dad actually submitted one of my poems to the Philadelphia Daily News when I was 9 years old, and they published it in the paper. And when I saw my name in print, I just felt like that was what I wanted to do. Like that was my calling. And so from there, I just always wrote. It began with scripts when I was in middle school and high school. And then when I went to Temple University, I'm originally from Philly. So when I went to Temple University, I studied communications, and I basically took every class that had to do with writing. And it was my goal at graduation that I was going to find a job in advertising copywriting. And then I would work there until I retired, and then I would write a memoir, which would be how I become an author. That was like my life's plan. But at my college graduation, the keynote speaker was an author, Karen Equinonez Miller. And it was like she was speaking directly to me because I know that that was what I wanted to do in my heart of hearts. And I decided that I was not going to look for that job in advertising copywriting. I was going to write my first book and follow in Karen's footsteps, self-publish, then get a deal and go from there. So when I left that graduation, I started writing Secret Society, the novel. And 3 months later, I had a manuscript. I reached out to Karen through email. I said, you spoke at my college graduation. You inspired me to write a novel, and I want to self-publish. Can you give me any tips on that? So she gave me the advice to try to get a publishing deal first. And if no one, signed me, then go ahead and self-publish if that's what I really wanted to do. So I sought out a publishing deal. Back then, this was in like 2003. Mm-hmm. Terry Woods was the biggest urban lit publisher that I knew of. So I reached out to her. She wanted to sign me to a 5-book deal. She wanted to buy Secret Society outright.
No way.
Yeah, I was ecstatic because I'm in college. This is my dream for so many years to be this published writer. And here I am getting interest from somebody I idolized, So I was like ecstatic, but it was so probably a Thursday, which our meeting was scheduled for Tuesday. And it was the Thursday before that, I started getting really anxious because I'm like, I don't know the book business. I don't know what's a good deal, what's a bad deal. So I reached out to Karen again. And I said, it's me again. I did what you said. I saw the deal. I have this offer on the table, and I'm meeting with the publisher on Tuesday to sign the deal. But I just want to know, am I doing the right thing? Can you just give me some advice on that? This time, Karen wrote back, call me with her phone number. I called Karen. She said, don't do it. She said, if you sign your book away, if you sell it outright, then whatever money you get right then and there is all you'll ever see.
That's it.
Book. You'll never see another check from that book, whether that book becomes a bestseller, whether the book becomes a movie like we're talking about today, TV, whatever, you'll never see another nickel. So she said, you need an agent to represent you. She said, listen, I'm going to call my agent. I'm going to tell her about you and see if she'll at least go to the meeting with you, being as though she's in New York. I said, thank you so much.
Look at God, though.
Yes, exactly.
In the works of all of this, you see this though, right? Okay,
Yes.
so keep going. I just wanted to make sure you could see him working.
So Karen put me in touch with her agent. It was before Christmas. Everybody in every industry was pretty much ready to go on vacation, not thinking about taking on any new projects. But her agent said, well, I'll do my part by reading a few pages, and then I'll be able to say, well, I tried. It's not really my thing. I'm not really interested in representing this type of work. And that'll be that. But she got hooked on Secret Society. And I had a second book written at the time, Diary of a Mistress. She read them both over the weekend. On Monday, she called me and she said, I want to represent you. And in fact, I have 3 major publishers who all want your book. So she called Terry first and she said, hey, Terry, I'm representing Miasha Coleman, who you were supposed to meet with tomorrow about signing this book deal. Well, I have other offers. So do you want to kind of like match that? Terry wasn't able to do anything with that. So Simon & Schuster ended up being the highest bidder. I got a 6-figure deal for my first time out the gate, was able to keep all of my rights. And
oh my gosh.
Everything else from there is, as they say, history.
This makes my heart flutter. Like, you and I don't even know each other, but I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh, because I really believe in divine intervention. And I believe that you knew what you wanted. And so the way God works is all you got to do is do a little bit. And the rest, you know what I mean? And he will set the rest of the stuff up right for you. Like, you know what I mean?
And that's exactly what happened. And that's what continues to happen. And I'm such a spiritual person in my personal life. And so I'm always just really, really thankful for his leading me every step of the way. Like I said, once you can, how they say you give somebody an inch and they'll take a mile.
That's what happens with God.
Right. He'll give you that mile.
Yes, he will. I always tell people, they think God is a magician. It don't work like that. You really do have to do your part, though. He wants to see you have faith and step out there on that faith and know that he gonna pick it up where you needed to be picked up at, right? But if you do nothing and be like, hey, God, I just need you to make this work, and you do nothing, that's not it. You reached out to the person that you heard speak at your graduation, right? And then look what else happened. But you took the first step. You did it. You had faith.
Yep.
Oh my God, your story is so amazing. Thank you. I'm overjoyed with how that happened for you and how it'll continue to happen for you because, like you said, of your faith and your determination. Like I sensed that from you. Like you said, when you were a child, you started writing and you just stayed with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So started as a book, Secret Society started as a book. And how did the book do?
The book did amazing. And the subject matter, and because you saw the movie, the subject matter is so, especially then in 2000. So it was published in 2006. Okay. And back then it was very taboo, the subject matter, especially in Black communities and urban communities.
Yep.
It was a breath of fresh air, though, in the literary community, because that was like when the wave of street lit kind of came and hit the market and everybody was into it. And we opened up a whole big market of readers with street lit books. But a lot of them had the same types of stories. And Secret Society, when you read it, the first 10, 15 pages, you feel like it's the same type of story. And then you get hit with the twist and you're like, oh, hold on, this is
wait a minute.
And so everybody, it resonated with so many people across different backgrounds. I had a rabbi read Secret Society and love it. So it just did well with so many different audiences because people could relate to the characters, Celeste and Tina, in a way that they didn't think that they would, because these weren't necessarily innocent angel characters. They were things that was, frowned upon, but they saw the heart of the characters. And that's what, as a good storyteller, that's what makes a story, a movie, a book, or whatever it is, that's what makes it resonate with different people. And the book did so well. I was the first urban lit author with a spread in Elle magazine. I was on Wendy Williams when she was on the radio. I was every major press outlet, BET, CBS. I was Essence bestseller. It was just a whirlwind. I did 7 novels with Simon & Schuster. And then I did a couple with other book publishers. So I have 10 novels altogether.
Oh my gosh.
It was an amazing writing career. I took a break around 2010, 2011 to homeschool my son and just be mom, traveler, wife, And then I always knew that I wanted to turn my books into movies.
Into film.
So over the time that I wasn't writing books, I was entertaining options. So there would be people that would contact me and they liked the books and they wanted to option the rights to turn it into film or TV. So I would entertain options, and then I would sometimes try myself to do the switch. And I would just reach out to people in the industry, like, this is what I'm trying to do. Can you give me a hand? Tell me what's the steps I need to take? And a lot of times I was hit with the same response. This script is too ambitious. You're going to need millions of dollars to shoot this movie. You need to scale it all the way down.
Oh, so that's what my husband's being told right now. Yep.
It discouraged me. And I put the movie on the back burner. My husband and I, we started a business. We gave the business our all for 7 years. And I thought about the movie, but I never pursued it further.
Okay.
Until 2019. At the end of the year, I saw an Instagram post. It was posted by the director, Jamal Hill. And he's
who we love. He is part of our Spotlight family.
Okay, perfect. And he's also a Philadelphia native.
Yep.
So he posted that the next year he wanted to make 4 movies. I commented, jumping out on faith. I said, we should do one together.
Now, had you met him before?
Never met him. I've heard we've had mutual people that we know from the city and things like that. I've known of his work. I've supported his work and things like that, but we've never met.
Wow. And you just went on his post.
And I said, we should do one together. And then he wrote back, let me know what you have in mind. We connected. I sent him Secret Society, the book. I told him that I had a script written for it and I really wanted to turn that into a movie. He said, once he read the book, he said, you know what? I have to be a part of this. This is something that's never been done before. I need to be the first director to bring something like this to the market. So I said, okay, take a look at my script. Tell me what you think. And mind you, this is the script that everybody told me was too ambitious.
Was right.
Millions of dollars. So I sent it to him, expecting him to give me some pushback on it.
Right.
So when he called me back after reading the script, he was like, okay, so when are you thinking about shooting this? Where do you want to shoot it are you going to shoot it in Miami? You want to shoot it in Atlanta? What? He never mentioned anything about the money.
About money.
He said, well, I knew what I had to spend. And I said, well, before we get into all of that, do you think we can shoot this movie with this amount of money? And he said, oh yeah, we can shoot it with any amount of money. It's just about being creative and figuring things out, using our resources. When he said that, I knew this was the person I'm supposed to work with. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And we absolutely made it happen.
Miasha, I am just like, you're gonna have me in tears before this interview is over because this kind of stuff really makes my heart explode. Like you saw the post, first of all, you got discouraged, right? And you started a business, and for 7 years, you was just like, okay, whatever, right? Pursuing your business. And then, like you said, in 2019 on Instagram, oh, good old Instagram has made a lot of people some great things, right? And you said, you know what, let's do this together. We should do one together. And look what happened. Nobody talk. See, and that's the thing. My husband always says, if God gives you a vision, you don't have to worry about provision. He gonna take care of that.
Exactly.
Follow through with your vision. Right?
Exactly.
And look what happened. Jamal didn't say nothing about money. He was like, when?
Like, what you want to do? I'm ready. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God. So how
after that, I'm sorry if you had a question.
I was gonna say, so I was gonna ask, so okay, after that, I'm into it now. Like, what happened next?
So COVID happened next.
Oh, that's right.
This was, like I said, the end of 2019.
Because COVID hit in 2020.
In 2020. So we literally had the script polished and like ready to go. I would say it was around February 2020. And then that next month, here comes a whole lockdown where nobody's able to go out their house and do anything. So for that first month of March, I kind of, again, put the script on a back burner because I was just shocked. Like, what is going on in the world? What is going to happen in this world? But then April came and I said, nobody's out in the streets. Nobody's working. This might be the perfect time to shoot this movie.
Look at it.
I can get people who might not have normally been available. I can access them now because they don't have no work going on. The prices are going to be lower because
people need to work
going on. And the streets are going to be empty. So we need to shoot some guerrilla shots where we need, boom. So I said, let me call Jamal and ask him what he thinks. And again, he was like, listen, I'm available. If you're ready to go, we can go.
Let's do it.
So we put a date in mind as when we wanted to start, which was, we wanted to start in early August of 2020. I reached out to different production companies. I found the one that the vibe was just there. They were based in Miami. They had a whole crew. They believed in the project the way I believed in it. We paired up like that. We got our staff, we got our cast. Everything was going perfect. And then the weekend that we were supposed to shoot, we got a hurricane watch here in Miami. So our first day of shooting was Monday. It was Saturday. And I'm talking about winds and rain and just craziness.
Look at the devil, always trying to mess something up.
He tries. But that Monday, sunshine, okay? Those 15 days that we shot this movie, golden sunshine.
Yes.
Of hurricane season. And I saw on the news, which is crazy to me, that some dust from the Sahara is what postponed Miami's hurricane season in 2020. So it would have normally come around that time, but it came later because of some Saharan dust from the motherland, honey. God said, look here, Miasha got to do a movie. Us, right.
God said he don't play about his people. You never know how it's going to happen, but you can't worry about that. You say August, I want to do it. And the weather forecast said something, and God was like, whatever.
Right, we're going to put this on pause for now. Yeah,
exactly. You see that? And so you one of our other Spotlight family members, Trey Chaney, he's in Secret Society.
He is.
So that's how, to be honest, that's how we learned about it, because Trey said, hey, I need y'all to go watch this, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, anything for you, fam. And so my husband and I, we set up our little movie date. And we didn't know what to expect, right? Because we were just like, okay, I had read what it was supposed to be about. And we were like, okay, Let me tell you something. After the first 5 minutes, even my husband, he's hard to get into like movies.
Mm-hmm.
The movies he'll stay away from, but the first 5 minutes, he was like, put it on pause. I gotta go get he gotta go get all his little movie stuff,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
his drink and everything. It was so good. And the first thing he said, because he has a book out and he wants to turn it into a film, right? The first thing he said was, who wrote this? He said, because the storyline is what sucked him in. And like I said, he's an author. And so him looking at it from a perspective of who wrote this, because whoever wrote this is like a genius. And
Wow.
that's when I started looking you up and saying, I got to get her on the show so I can talk about this.
That's what's up.
And now look,
Yep.
So, okay, so Secret Society, you shot it in August, and when did it actually get released?
It got released in April 2021, which was the 15-year anniversary of the book.
Wow. Was that intentional?
It was slightly intentional. So
okay.
Us shooting in 2020 and this being my first movie, I didn't know how long it was going to take for any of the process. Mm-hmm. So I never imagined that it would come out on the 15th anniversary of the book. But once we wrapped it and we were done with like editing, I started saying, well, it's very possible that we could release this movie in April. So I started putting my mind set on, let's do it on the 15th anniversary. Of course, there still can be hiccups that occur that delay that, but that was where my mind was, right?
Right.
So now listen, here comes God again, right? Distribution. That's the next hurdle in a movie making process for an independent filmmaker. So we had the movie done. We loved the movie. My husband, myself, we executive produced it together. So we saw every cut of this movie. And when we got that final cut, we said, this is it. This is the movie. We love it as it is. So we believed in it heavily. We knew that if other people saw the movie, they would feel the way we felt about it.
Yep.
Our thing was, okay, with distribution, we'll seek the traditional routes, where you hire someone, a sales agent, where they basically pitch it to different networks or platforms, and then they get a commission. So we had people like that who we were introduced to or knew throughout, the book career, what have you. And several people that when they saw it, they were like, yeah, I want to definitely represent this. So we had this group of people who they said, we want to take this on. They took it to a network first, just to see what the network would say. And the network, the guy who they took it to, he was like the president of the network. He said, you know what, this is too big for this network, but I want to jump on board and help y'all sell it to like Lionsgate. We want to get Lionsgate. So they came to us as 3-person group saying, we all want to represent this. We want to take it to Lionsgate and get you a nice deal for this movie. So my husband and I like, bet, Lionsgate, that's the move, But then we said, well, what about numbers? What type of numbers can we expect? Because they were saying, now this was around, I would say this was around February of 2021. Now, mind you, I was trying to get this out in April.
Right.
So we didn't have a lot of time.
You didn't have a lot of turnaround time.
This might have been more like the end of the year.
Okay.
So my goal was April, and the group of people that wanted to represent it, they said give them 6 months. But I knew whatever timeline we had, it was going to go past April if we dealt with them. So my 15-year anniversary plan would have been out the window, but I wasn't going to turn it down just for that.
Right. It wasn't a deal breaker for you.
Right. If I could get a major situation for this project, I'll wait the 6 months. So I said, but the only thing I need to know is, based on your experience with selling movies to Lionsgate, what type of numbers do you think they would give us for Secret Society? So they said, you never know because each project is different, but I'll give you a ballpark of what another movie I did. I don't even want to name names because I don't want to, but it was a top tier person who put out a film, and they gave that person $250,000 to distribute that film. So they said they basically can expect the same for Secret Society because it's my first movie. It has to be proven and things like
all of that, right?
So I'm like, okay, that's good to know. We'll talk about it and get back to you. Husband and I, we were like really in our minds about it because we knew that we could step out on our own and put it on Amazon.
Right.
And then we just would have to market and do all of the work ourselves, which is fine because we come from a marketing with the books and our business. We knew that, but it's still a risk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you take this guarantee money and then try to make more as you go along or on your second one? Or do you take that risk and say, I think I can make what you're talking about in the first week, right? And that's where our minds was when we sat and did the numbers. Like if we charge this for the film and we get these amount of people to rent it and these amount of people to buy it in week one, then boom, we done made X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
After doing that, you know, we prayed on it and we said, we're going to do it ourselves. We're going to put it out in April like we want to do. Then we don't have to wait for nobody. Then if we wait 6 months and y'all don't even get us a deal, then we done blew our window of opportunity.
Yep.
Now we're faced with, when do we put it out? It's other big movies coming out that we got to compete against. It was just like, we're going to do this in April and we're going to do it on our own. We made literally all our money back in the very first weekend of us dropping the movie and made, now I didn't tell you this, but I asked those group of people, do they think Lionsgate will offer $1 million for Secret Society? And they looked at me like I was crazy.
Like you was crazy.
In your dreams. But we made that on Amazon on our own within 60 days of the movie being released. So that's another testament to this.
You prayed on it. And when you pray on something, you have to listen, hear from them, right? And step out there. And look what happened.
God gave us the answer clear as day in a Jay-Z song. The next day, we said we would, pray on it, and we left the meeting, got in our car, turned on the music. A song was playing, and it was Jay-Z. He said, y'all still taking advances, huh? Me and my niggas taking real chances.
Yeah.
Is that a sign? And we said that would be that's how we made up our mind. We said that's the answer. That's
the answer.
That's what to do.
And I bet you are so proud. You should be so proud of your work, of the process, all of it. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm not even involved in it at all, but I imagine that it wasn't always easy. Like you said, there were hurdles. There was supposed to be a damn hurricane, and it's just always something. And then people kind of like, we don't really know you. You're not, and you know what I mean? You're a newbie on the block, this and that and the other. So you had all types of reasons where if you didn't have that faith, where you just been like, just forget it.
Right.
That's what that's what I love about your story. I love that you stuck with it. You knew you had something good. Like I'm telling you, it's really, really good. And I am a very hard person to get when it comes to movies, because I'm just, just kind of like not into them like that. But it was so good that we watched it over and over again. And after that, I started making sure that, like whenever I was with my sister or whoever, I'd be like, okay, we got to watch Secret Society. You never heard about that? Oh, girl. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I just want to say that I cannot wait. I'm hoping that this is not it for you, that there's more to come. One thing I did want to ask about turning a book into film. I haven't read the book. So now I want to go double back and read the book. Like, is there a huge disparity, huge difference between the book and the movie? Because I know, like with Stan, my husband, having to write a screenplay from a book, I can't put everything, because I'm like, babe, you left that part out. He said, I can't put everything from the book into the film.
Right.
Is that hard? How do you
It's really hard.
extract what you're going to take from your book and put it on film?
That is a really tough thing to do because, like you said, with book, there's no limits. You know, this is whatever your imagination desires to put on a page, you can put on that page.
You can do it.
You're not going to run out of time when you're writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
There's no budget limits to what's on the page in your book. When you're actually trying to put that on screen and capture it all, when you're talking about locations and you're talking about wardrobe and different props and sets and all of that, everything adds up. So you have to kind of scale it and pull it in, especially from an independent filmmaker's perspective. So budget plays a part, you know, time plays a part, and locations play a part in why you can't put everything that's in the book onto the screen. So it's really about, the key that I learned is what moves the story forward. If it's something in the book that you just put in there just for the hell of it, I don't know. But if it doesn't really move the story forward on the screen, then it doesn't need to be added to it.
Right.
And also with books, we're very detailed. They went from the couch, walked down the wooden steps, out the
describe everything
to the cold air. Like, we describe everything, and in film, you pull all of that back and you just basically write what the person is going to see when they watch the movie.
Okay. So if you're given an option in life to say, okay, Miasha, you can only write books now or do films, what do you pick?
You know, I feel bad about saying this because books was my first.
Your first.
I would say movies.
So now you've gotten bitten by the film.
I did.
And you're loving it. So are you planning to do more, or can we look for more from you?
Absolutely. I am in pre-production right now for Secret Society Part 2.
Yeah, you know, I guess I can't tell everybody how it ended, because if y'all haven't seen it, but we said, see, whoever did this did it in such a way where now we're like, we need to know what happened. What's the part 2? So that was really smart of you.
Yeah. So, and the crazy thing is, the book itself is a trilogy. So the book ends that way. So that's why I ended the movie that way. But I never anticipated doing a part 2 to the movie.
Really?
I was going to do one of my other books next. But the response that I got from the fans was like, you better do it. You
have to.
And I said, well, look, the supply and demand. So
you got to give the people what they want.
So that's what we're doing. I finished the script. We started casting some of the roles, and we're going to start shooting January 17th.
Oh my gosh, honey, I'm so proud of you. And I want you to know that if there's any time where you feel like our show, Spotlight Over the City, can be of help to you to push this thing, whatever you need, the answer is going to be yes. Like I said, we consider you now as part of our Spotlight family. We want to definitely be a part of like your red carpet screening, whatever it is. We will be there to support and to also help share it. You know, our show is viewed online right now, and it is viewed by people, I mean, everywhere now in Africa. So it's another tool that you are able to use whenever you need it. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much.
Before, I was supposed to only keep you hostage for 10 to 15 minutes, and it looks like I've kept you hostage for 30 minutes. But that just goes to show you how organically we were able to just sit and talk about this, because I could literally keep going on if I could just dive into what the other books are about and all that kind of stuff. But I don't want to keep you too much longer, and I want to be able to share this on our live show. Tell people how they can support you, how they can follow you, anything else that you want our viewers and listeners and your fans to know. Here's your opportunity to do so.
Okay, well, first I want you all to watch Secret Society on Amazon Prime. And I'm going to give y'all a little tidbit that nobody knows yet. This is the first time I'm ever announcing this. but it's also going to be on BET and BET Plus in the very near future. We just did
Yeah.
a deal with them, so probably
Yes.
a year. Also, the 15-year edition of the book, it will be available in bookstores and online in a couple of months. And follow me on Instagram, Miasha, Miasha official, and Secret Society movie.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, I'm so super excited about this, Miasha. And I want, like, again, I just want to congratulate you and your husband. And hey, Jamal, I'm making sure he's gonna see this clip particularly. I'm gonna make sure, hey, Jamal, you did an amazing job directing. All of your actors in the movie were phenomenal. Like whoever did your casting, they get a A+.
Thank
I
you.
have nothing negative. I mean, not that I would say it to you, but I'm being honest. Nothing negative in my mind that I could say about this film. Like, to me, from start to finish, everything was just perfect. And I cannot wait for part 2. I can't wait for those who have not seen Secret Society, the movie. They need to go and see it. Amazon Prime, it is lit. And you can take it from me, your girl T-Bomb. Y'all know I don't lead y'all wrong. Go watch the movie Secret Society as soon as possible, and make sure you all support Miasha in all of her future endeavors. And she will be on the show in person one day, right? Because you're going to come to the DMV and we do something in person in our studio. Like, I'm at home right now, but we have an amazing studio where we do our show once a week on Thursdays, and it's live and it's so fun. We always have live entertainment in there. So I can't wait to actually meet you in person one day soon.
For sure. I'm looking
for sure. Yes. All right. We're going to get ready to let you go, Miasha, and I appreciate you so much. You all give it up one more time for our newest Spotlight family member, Miasha Coleman.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Before